Oh, hey guys, I haven't talked about animation in a while because recently I've been really busy with my college applications and I literally had no time for anything else for like a week. It was excruciating, but I'm finally done. I didn't even have enough time to react to the announcement about the Hellaverse. Helluvaboss is coming to Amazon Prime, and my first honest reaction was that I get pretty upset because well, Helluvaboss was and still is on YouTube for free, and moving to Amazon Prime means that it's gonna be on a streaming service, and I don't have Amazon Prime. So that was my first reaction. But then I realized that this opens up some excellent possibilities, some excellent opportunities for developing both stories. Of course, the first plus is that characters from Helluva are gonna appear in Hazbinhotel and vice versa, and it's gonna be cool. Yeah, it is gonna be awesome. This is what fans have been thinking about literally for years, and me included, honestly. So many scenarios I had in my head. And the second plus is that we'll likely get Helluvaboss music on Spotify and other platforms. There are some bangers from this show that I really enjoy, like Cotton Candy, for example. I think it's a marvelous pop song. It's a very positive, uplifting, bubbly pop song, and I really like this kind of pop music. And I have really hard time listening to it on YouTube because, well, the quality is not great. I cannot just take my phone and download it and listen to the song anywhere. So if it comes to Spotify, it'll be absolutely fantastic. But today I'm not gonna talk about this. Actually, I was gonna share two pretty personal stories. One of these stories I haven't shared before with anybody because I thought it wasn't really for sharing with other people. But you know, thinking about Hellaverse and stuff got me pretty emotional, and I thought that I need to share. So the title of this video, I assume you saw the title and the thumbnail. This is not a clickbait because these shows, they literally saved my life, and I'm gonna explain how they did that. So the first story is about my physical health. Last winter, around late December 30 to be more precise, I started getting some strange abdominal pains. And abdominal pains, they would just come at night. I would go to bed, I would try to fall asleep like a normal person after a hard working or studying day, and the pain would come and I would just lie in bed trying to fall asleep, but this pain would be just too much for me. And so I was lying in bed for 2, sometimes even 3 hours. Like, it could happen twice a week or so. It was really terrible. When you just want to sleep, but you can't sleep because of pain. Sometimes I would wake up in the middle of the night around 2-3 a.m. and I wouldn't be able to fall back asleep for like a couple of hours at least. And as I said, it could happen for 2 times a week, and it was terrible. At some point I thought about putting myself out of the misery. I was seriously considering ending my life somehow. I didn't know how. I didn't have any means for that. I didn't have a gun or something. Still don't have a gun. But I was seriously considering it. And then in January of 2024, the first season of Hazbinhotel was released. The show was really helpful. I got so interested in the show, in its story, in its characters. I often get obsessed with different shows, especially animated ones, before Hazbinhotel. Such shows for The Owl House and She-Ra remake on Netflix from 2018. So Hazbinhotel became my newest obsession. It came kind of in the right time, when I had this kind of mental crisis, when I didn't know what to do. It was pretty bad, and just, you know, lying in bed and thinking about this character, the stories while having pain, it literally helped me. It helped me through some pretty damn terrible nights, and And thinking about this show, it kind of kept me sane. I don't have this pains now. The pain stopped kind of around last September last year, 2024, and now I'm completely fine. But it's very likely I wouldn't be here if it was not for these shows. First Hazbin Hotel in January 2024, then around April I watched Helluvaboss, and I loved Helluvaboss even more. The first few episodes 1 to 5, were pretty rough in my opinion, but the rest of season 1 was just fantastic, and the final episode with Queen Bee and that song Cotton Candy is just some of the best animated scenes I've ever seen, one of the best animated episodes I've ever seen. Yes, I do acknowledge these shows are not exactly perfect, and the style of humor might be off-putting for some people. I think the humor is a bit too immature and rough at times. But still, these shows have so many great and relatable characters, and just thinking about these characters, just relating to them, it served like some sort of therapy to me. So after watching Hazbin Hotel, I started drawing again. I started creating my own stories and characters, and I even wrote some songs dedicated to the Hellaverse characters, namely Octavia and Charlie Morningstar, and Octavia is still my favorite character. I really like her, especially after Sinsmith. Her song was absolutely fantastic. So the second story is about my relationship with my family. I don't have the best relationship, to be honest, because both of my parents, especially my father, are pretty conservative, and I am a very progressive person. I am autistic. I'm questioning my sexuality. Sometimes I think I'm bi. Sometimes I think I'm an imposter. But I think I am bi after all. It's just this feeling when you discover that you're bi in your early 20s, and you think that you're an imposter because you haven't discovered it before. I'm also gender non-conforming, which means that I don't think clothes have gender. I can be both masculine and feminine. Sometimes I wear masculine stuff, sometimes I wear feminine stuff. It really depends on my mood, and my parents, especially my father, just would not understand that. So these two shows kind of became my safe refuge, I guess. Because it has characters of different sexualities, cross-dressing characters like Moxie, for example. I absolutely adore Moxie. He is a really great character in that regard, that he is not afraid of embracing his feminine side, and it actually helped me to accept myself. I doubt that my family will ever accept this side of me, but this shows just helped me to see that it's pretty normal to have to be different, to have different sides. And so these two shows, they had an enormous impact on me. They helped me with physical pain, with my mental health, with my self-acceptance, with my problems with education, when a university I applied to did not accept my application, and I got pretty upset. But then I didn't give up and applied the next year, this year. And this year it was actually successful. So I owe a lot to these two shows, and I really doubt that Vivzi Pop will see this video, but I would really love her to know that how impactful her stories were, because they were enormously impactful. Because I acknowledge these shows are not perfect, but I love them nonetheless, and they became an important part of my life. I have different merchandise, badges, posters, all that. It just makes me feel extremely happy, and I'm really sorry that I couldn't convey this better. English is not my first language, and I didn't have any sort of script prepared. It was a kind of spontaneous video. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share, and I'm really looking forward to watching new seasons. Hazbin Hotel Season 2, I think I'm gonna lose it when the trailer is released. Not to mention when the second season is released, I think I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna be really happy, and that's what I wanted to talk about. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and see you again. I'm gonna be talking more about Hellaverse and animation in general, and share my own animation. You probably noticed that I started making animation recently. I've been drawing for over a year now, and now I began doing a simple Krita 2D animation, nothing fancy, just just some first steps, and I really hope to achieve something eventually. And thank you again, and see ya.